Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Not quite sure when you're watching this, but if you're enrolled in Bio 31 Human Anatomy with Dr. Knudsen, I am he, and you're in the right place. I wanted you to be able I wanted to introduce the course to you, the handouts, the syllabus. So when you get here either on Friday, if you're in the Friday lab, or Tuesday, the Thursday labs, you'll be ready to go. I will also hand you a hard copy on those dates. You'll be money ahead if you listen to this entire thing and maybe take notes, because the questions that you need, I should be able to handle. Okay. In essential information in Canvas, it was the very first rectangle you got to, titled essential information. It said introduction, and it said, please watch. Good. That's this one. If you go down to the next line, it'll have syllabus, course information sheet, connect quizzes online, and prefix suffixes. Student information sheet. What I call the syllabus, and that is Fridays. That is Tuesday, Thursday. See up here in the corner. McKinley online quizzes with due dates and chapters. And prefix suffix quizzes, weekly quizzes. They're actually every other week. Got it? You can download each one of those. And I suggest you do that, because I'm going to go over the course information sheet and introduce those things and what you're going to be doing with them. Are we good? So pause this, download it, print it so you have a copy. I'll wait. Okay, now I waited. Student information sheet. It has the course number, the name of it, how many units. It has my name, my email address, my office phone. Don't use it. I never listen to it. My office number, my office hours. You see, it says TBA, to be arranged. I'm here at 6 o'clock in the morning. If you come in at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm yours. When class is over at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, I'm here, I'm yours. If you're on Friday from 11 o'clock on, I'm here, I'm yours. But that makes it, I found over the years, that makes it difficult if you're just coming by and you have one quick question to wait for those office hours. Come into the lab. Science and Math, SCMA, 110. I don't have it on there, do I? No, I don't. Anyway, it's in 110. You found your way, because you're going to see it on Friday or Tuesday, Thursday. Come in there. I'm in here, or one of my TAs is in here, can tell you where I'm at, and they can usually answer the questions. If not, wait for me and I'll come in and answer them. So the TBA means anytime I'm on campus, I'm in Science and Math, SCMA 110 on the first floor. That's where our lab's at. I'm in here. Walk in. If you don't see me at the front or around the lab with helping other students, just hang out and I'll be there, and you can get the question answered. So TBA is a good thing. Okay. And it says I'm available in lab. I do have office hours, and I will talk to you about those. Next thing, it has the course code. That's the numbers of the lab that you're enrolled in. Lecture. I'm all jacked up, aren't I? Oh, there it is. Right there, it is right there. Lecture, that's the lecture number. Lab, 1, 2, 3, and Fridays. Okay? Those are the numbers that you see on your MyDelta, your student schedule. Those are the numbers. Some of you have had difficulty in getting into the lab because you thought you could enroll on the lecture. No. Lecture is open to everybody. The lab, you have to be enrolled in. So you add the lab and the lecture comes with it. And I have the times. You can see on Tuesday, Thursday, I'm here. You have the first lab from 7 to 9, second one from 1 to 3, third one from 3 to 5. And Friday, it's from 7 to 11. Okay, AM. People have asked. Okay. And it says lecture time variable Monday through Sunday because it's online. And I'll explain how that goes when you're in class, the very first lab. I'll run through the modules and how to identify the things that I have set up for you. Okay. Then you see catalog statement. So be it. Okay. Catalog statement. You want to see that UC-CSU right down there at the bottom. That means it is articulated with all the colleges in the United States. You want that. So when you transfer, or if you do transfer, those units go with you. Okay. And they're accepted. Prerequisites, none. That's bad. Okay. That means you don't have to know how to read or write to get in this class. But I'm telling you, you've got to be proficient at reading comprehension. Okay. Not a lot of writing in here, but a lot of reading and comprehension. So we can talk about that individually if you have a difficulty there. Lecture exam, the lecture book is McKinley, 6th edition. Okay. What else do I have on there? It's in a bundle. So when you go over to the bookstore, you'll see the book, the lecture book, McKinley, and then it's wrapped in a cellophane. And there's something inside. And that's the code that you need to do the online prefix-suffix quizzes. Wrong. That's not what I meant. Pulled up the wrong thing. The McKinley online quizzes. Here's the chapter. Here's the date that it's due. Chapter 2, date that it's due. Chapter 3, date that it's due. All the way down to the end of the semester. Do you understand? Those are online. So you have an electronic version of the text. You have the text. Okay. So if you're like me and you want to be able to read the hard copy, there it is. Good. Good. So there's the hard copy. You can do it electronically, but you must have that code to log on to the publisher's website to get the Connect quizzes that are automatically put in your gradebook for you. Okay. So it comes as a bundle. The bundle is cheap. I mean, all things compared, it's cheap. I think it's like $111 and you get the book and the code. Now, if you go to the publisher and you're saying, hey, my sister, my brother, my cousin, my neighbor, somebody I saw on the street, some homeless person gave me the textbook. I got it free. Can I just buy the code? Yep. And I think the publisher charges you $85 to $100 for the code. Think about it. You get the book and the code for $110. If you want to sell it on Amazon and get $50 for the book, hey, you just got the code really cheap. Or you might want to keep it because the human body hasn't changed for over 300,000 years. So I still have mine when I went to college. Okay, because it's a book that I went through with a fine-tooth comb and I know where things are at. So if I need something, I can refer to it and we're good to go. So it's up to you. There's your option. You can get in the bookstore, but you need the code. The code, if you get it from the bookstore, is in the book. Good? Good? Or you can call the publisher. Now, for the first 2 weeks, if you're enrolled, you have access to the electronic version and the Connect quizzes for the first 2 weeks to the second. After 2 weeks and 1 second, it goes off and all your material is lost. So what I have worked out with the publisher is a 2 week period where if you're not sure if you're going to enroll in the class or you're trying to enroll in the class or you're not sure if you have time or something pops up in the first 2 weeks, you don't have to lay out the money for the code. You get to do it free. and you can take as many quizzes as you want. Every single one of the quizzes, and there are 19 of them, are open on day one. That means the 10th of Friday, if you're Friday lab, and the 14th if you're Tuesday, Thursday lab. Every one of them's open. So if you want to sit down for 48 hours and do all the quizzes, knock yourself out. You don't need to code. Okay? Got it? But I specifically close the door on each one of those chapters when we're ready to go into the lecture. So the theory behind that is, number one, you read the chapter. Let's say chapter 5. You read chapter 5, and then I close that door for chapter 5 on, let's say, February the 5th. And then the lecture material that you're going to listen to and take notes on in the module begins on February the 6th, the next day. So you should have been exposed to the textbook, taken some quizzes, take quiz answer or answer the quizzes, answer the quiz with questions for your competency. And then when you listen to me talk about it or write about it on the board and guide you through that, you're going, I heard that before. Or, yes, I understand that. Or wait a minute, I'm not too sure. Then you can go back to the book, to that specific spot, and become familiar with it. Good? It works. Okay. So that's the textbook. Suggested Lab, Basic Anatomy by Allen. Don't worry about that. That's the skeleton that comes midway through the semester. And also Suggested Photographic Atlas of Histology. You can get either one of those off Amazon, half.com, any place that you can get them, get them. You don't need them. There's other ways, and I'll explain that during your first lab, but it's nice to have them at home. Got it? Okay, let's turn the page. Required equipment and supplies. You're going to need a 3-ring binder to put the labs in to turn them into me. I don't take them scattered. I don't take them stapled together. I don't take them bound with those little binders, little black binder clips. I don't want that. They go, I'll hold 3-hole punch for everything that I hand you. I want them in the binder. Got it? The 1-inch is the cheapest one because you can get those in volume. Up to you, but they have to be in a binder. And then it says a 3-ring spiral type notebook. You know the ones that are perforated 25 times? Okay, those are good because you're going to take notes in there. It's critical that you listen to what I have to say and you take good notes. Excellent notes. Then you refer to things you're not too sure of. You go to the textbook and that will lay it out for you line by line. I take the textbook and I condense it into a few pages. Do you understand? Those are my notes of that chapter. What I've sifted through, and I figured that's what you need to know. Okay, but all the material, more than what you need to know, is in the textbook. Are we good? Okay, so every semester, people come in and want to do really good, but they either don't listen to the lectures, they find a shortcut to go through Connect, and then they expect to do well on the exam and they fail it, and they can't understand why. Okay, by practice, I've got this fine-tuned. If you want to do well, you're going to have to put in the time and you're going to have to understand the material. Good? So that's the required equipment and supplies. Okay. General information, you can read that, but I'm going to go over just a couple things I want to highlight. Lecture is online. You can do it anytime you want, but I have set down in the syllabus, which is this thing right here that I want to talk about. This happens to be Tuesday, Thursday. You can see our first meeting is on January the 14th. That's a Tuesday. Second meeting is January the 16th. That's a Thursday. Here's the lecture topics. Here's the lab topics. And I go all the way through. And if you download it on your printer, you're going to find that I have some of the things highlighted in yellow. So for an example, February the 18th. Okay. And I highlight it in yellow. Nothing big about the lecture, but look at the lab. Lecture exam number 1, 100 questions. Wow. So this is what I call the syllabus. This I call the course information sheet. Most teachers put it together like that. Most instructors put it together like that. And this is all considered the syllabus. I like to separate this one because it is a date with the topics in lecture and lab that you're going to be doing. If you stick to this, you're going to end up at the right place at the right time. If you try and say, well, I'll get to it this next weekend, what's going to end up happening is you're going to start sinking and you're going to feel like there's no way you're going to get on top, which is true. You'll never get on top. Either stay with this date or ahead of it. So Tuesday, let's go Tuesday, February the 4th. Okay. The topic in lecture is mitosis. That's a Tuesday. You're saying, well, I ain't got time on Tuesday. Okay. Then do it on Monday. Do it on Sunday. Don't wait till Thursday because Thursday now you're behind mitosis and you're doing meiosis. You say, well, I'll catch up this weekend. I watch it every semester and people get buried. And then all of a sudden they're buried and they cannot climb out and they get an unsuccessful grade. Okay. Be with me? So this is a guideline, a loose guideline for the lecture stuff, but I would adhere to it exactly. If Tuesday, Thursday doesn't work for you, do it Monday, Wednesday. Do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's what I would do. I'd never leave. I wouldn't leave that material until I am absolutely certain I've got it. Now, the labs are a little bit different. Those are structured. You're going to come to lab, and if you follow this, this is what we're going to be doing in lab. Guaranteed. Got it? Okay. This is the syllabus. All the dates with topics are on here. When the exam is, when the final is, when there's holidays, when there's spring break, it's all on here. Whether you have Tuesday, Thursday, or Fridays. Friday meets once a week. You're going, hey, that's for me, man. I only want to be there once a week. That's a double-edged sword. Yes, you only have to be here once. The lecture material comes at you the same as it does on Tuesday, Thursday, but the labs are double labs. So you're going, oh man, I'm sick. I ate some bad shrimp or something last night. So you say, I can't make it in Friday, man. It's coming out of both ends. Okay. Now you've missed that lab time, which means you missed 2 labs. The next time you come in, you're doing 4 labs and there's not enough time for it. Now you're behind a whole week. Got it? So you can see Friday's lab meets January the 10th. Okay. And we're doing this in lecture and we're doing this in lab. You're already starting the lab, the metric system. Got it? You come in a week later, which is the 17th. This is what you've done in lecture, in lab. You're doing 2 labs, the microscope and mitosis. Do you see what I'm after? Real easy to get buried on Fridays. Anyway, this is the syllabus. You can download it right off the essential information module, which is the first one you come to. Here's Tuesday, Thursday. Do the same thing. Now, let's get back to information sheet. We're on page 2, which is the back of page 1. And I'm reading this. Okay, so I've got to be able to read it. So you're not going to be able to see both. But anyway, it says lecture meets twice per week. You can do twice. You can do it 3 times. You can do it 7 times. Okay, we're not physically meeting. It's online like this is. Lab will meet 2 hours twice a week. Okay, that's mandatory. If you're Tuesday, Thursday, it meets once per week if you're Friday. And I go on to say, take excellent notes, listen to lectures, redo your notes. When I'm talking to you, you better pause it because I get talking pretty darn fast. And everything that seems to come out of my mouth is something you need to know. Got it? So if you don't see something, reach over, hit pause, go back, listen to it again. I'm telling you, this is essential. Okay? I don't check your notes to make sure you're taking notes. I don't do that. Hey, this is a big boy, big girl school. But I have found that most people, when it comes time to study for the exam or prepare for the exam, aren't really ready because their notes are sloppy. Okay. I am in class. When you're in the lab, I'll have 3 different types of lecture notes and 2 types of lab notes that students have left here so you can see what good note taking looks like and some of the things they've learned to do to enhance memory. Okay. I'll have that set out there for you. I go on to say, if lighting, hearing, or other disabilities represent themselves, please let me know immediately. We want everybody to learn everything with the least amount of obstacles. So if you can't hear very good, we'll move you to the front. If the acoustics don't work, we'll move you around the room until you're comfortable in hearing. If lighting, I had somebody that had LASIK surgery and their cornea had slits in it. It looked like starburst. They had problems. So I turned off one bank of lights. They could see perfectly. Okay. So we'll work with that. If note taking is a problem, you go to DSPS, they will find out what your issues are, and they will assign a note taker, or somebody can bring in notes for you that are complete. Anyway, all those are available. Talk to me about it. I have had for many, many years what we call an SI leader. SI stands for supplemental instruction. I call it student instructor. That's somebody I picked that will lead you in other times in lab. In other times during the week, where they'll meet in a room at a specific time and go over the material that you're having difficulty with. It's not reteaching it. You're shooting yourself in the foot if that's what you're going for. It's to say, man, I didn't quite understand what a zygote was, or I didn't understand what a diploid cell is. Okay? They will square that up for you. What I have found over the years, the most important thing is to show you what is important, how to take good notes, how to be prepared, what's important, what's not that important. And it's an avenue for somebody to lean on. Okay. Now, my first semester in college was not as successful as I would have wished. Reason is I didn't want to ask for help because I thought I knew it all. Okay. I got out of high school. I was in the top of the class. Man, it didn't stink, if you know what I mean. Then I got into college and I went, I can do this. I can do this. And I would tooth and nail was trying to get out of the hole I dug. The next semester, I got smarter and I found what is a resource, and I went to it. And then all of a sudden, the light bulb came on. Somebody really showed me how to take notes and what was important and how to rewrite my notes and color coding and things like that, which I'll show you. If it works for you, great. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm just trying to do it for you. Okay. Anyway, SI will reinforce that. I also have that my SI leader, her name is Elena. Top notch. This is going to be her 3rd time as my SI leader, 3rd semester. I also have Alyssa as my TA. She reads, grades all your stuff. She hangs out and will help you in the lab. I also have Sam Reed. Sam Reed's new to me and helping me out, but she took me last semester and she got it. She's willing to come in and help you in lab. So when I'm over on one side of the room, she's working on the other, as well as Alyssa and Elena. They're both now, Alyssa and Elena are in the nursing program. So their time is pretty compressed. So I have those 3 people. I will talk about them. I will also introduce them to you. So it's Elena is for SI. Alyssa is a great reader, grader, and TA. And Sam Reed is going to help grade and TA. Okay. But you'll see him. Anyway, that's what's in here underlined. See how it's underlined? Has those names. We also have a tutoring center in Science and Math, SCMA 162. It's on the east end of the building. And they have people in there that have knowledge of anatomy and will help you. Course description at the bottom is for majors, for nursing, for psych tech, for RAD program. We'll talk about that. Then next page. These are topics that we'll cover. You can read them. Attendance. You got to be here. The first 2 weeks, you have to be here for each lab at the very beginning, or I drop you. I'm required to drop you. Okay. If you're the type of person that shows up 5 minutes late, 6 minutes late, 2 minutes late, you might find out the door's locked. Okay. Because you're not going to come in when you want and disturb the people that are here on time learning. I am fanatic about that. So be here on time or a little ahead. Got it? I have people that are chronically 5 minutes late, 6 minutes late, and they come here and they meet the door and it's locked. And then they stand out there with the big crocodile tears going, but I couldn't find a parking place. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Come on, cut me some slack. Okay? So be here on time. If you're not one of those people who are on time, take it from another instructor. On the day of the quizzes, on the day of the exams, you have to be here on time, prepared to go on time, or you won't take it. Okay? If I'm doing a quiz, one of these prefix suffix quizzes that happens every other week, and I'm giving that out, and you're 2 seconds late, you won't take the quiz. Okay? My grandmother just died. Oh, I'm really sorry. You need to go attend that then. But you're not going to take that quiz, period. When you come in late, be respectful of other people. They're here, they're focused. The last thing I want to hear is you put down your coffee cup, unzip your thing, looking for a pencil, have to borrow a pencil from somebody. They're saying, hey, man, got it? Okay, period. Attendance. You have to be here on time on your lab times only. Lecture is online. Okay. And now under lecture, it says I will, and will is in bold print. You see it right there? I will use the material that I do in the lectures for lecture material. I will use the stuff in lab that you're exposed to in lab that I talk to you about and lead you through. I will use that for lab material. Sometimes there is overlap, but not much. Topics are the same, but the emphasis is different. Mostly labs is visual learning, that type of stuff. Lecture, mental. Are we good? Okay. Lab, 2 forms. There's what I call an open-ended lab that let me give you the format of the semester. The semester is divided into 3 parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3. Yeah. Okay. Part 1, emphasis microscopic. We'll be looking at tissues. We're looking at the cells. We'll be looking at mitosis, stages of mitosis and meiosis. We'll be looking at those things. Do you understand? Okay. Your lab exam is going to be mostly microscopic, looking through microscope and being able to identify tissues. We'll also do the metric system and some things like that with some models that I have to emphasize those topics. Lecture is the lecture material that goes with that. Okay. So there's some overlap, but most of it is isolated to lab setting, lecture setting. Are we good? Lectures all come online. Some of them are directed teaching, where I'm writing on the board right behind me in this lab, and some are PowerPoint. Okay. It's about a 50-50 split. I don't like PowerPoints too much because I don't feel you're trying to take professional drawings and copy them, where behind me on directed, I'm doing it, and I'm doing stick people like you do. Okay. Either way, you'll see what I mean. Anyway, getting back to the labs. Labs are in 2 forms. One is that open-ended lab that takes that third of the semester, and then you're given an exam. The second one, the second part of the semester, given an exam. Third one and the last one is the same. You have 3 open-ended labs to complete. They take a long time. I mean, they take 5 weeks apiece. You with me? The other lab is what I call a cookbook lab. The first one you're going to get is the metric system, where I'm going to ask you, measure this. What's the answer? Write it right here. What is the surface area of this? Measure it, multiply it, put the answer right here. That's cookbook. It'll take you one lab to do it. I have half a dozen cookbook labs and 3 open-ended labs. Got it? So those are the 2 forms. And that's what it talks about right here. Turn the page. Back of that. Okay, it says you're going to turn in your labs only one time. So you'll accumulate some labs and then you'll want to turn them in. I only take them on the day of the lab exam. So on the day of the lab exam, which is on your syllabus, okay, which on your syllabus, you can see the lab exam right there, right there. On that date, you'll come in with your labs in a binder, and I'll have a tray out there, and you'll put them in there. Then Alyssa will grade them, and we'll get them back to you. See how that works? Only then. I don't take them any other time. So you're going to turn in the labs 3 times during the course of the semester. They have to be in pencil. Quizzes, okay? There's 2 types of quizzes. Every other week on a Thursday, or every other week on a Friday, you're going to have these prefix suffix quizzes. I'm teaching you Latin because all the medical field, all science has Latin as a base words. Base language. Like a dean or a dino means gland. Af means toward. Angie means vessel. Okay. Don't worry about this. This is using it in a sentence, just the italic words. So the first quiz, which will be, just a minute. If you're Friday, it'll be January the 17th. If you are Tuesday, Thursday, it'll be the 23rd. Okay. You'll take quiz number 2. I go even 2, 4, 6, 8, because the 2, if you add a 0 to it, which means 20, you're going to be doing the first 20. The second one, which is quiz number 4, add a 0, you're doing the first 40. You get where I'm going? Okay. Okay. Anyway, I'll explain that in lab for you. That's one type of quiz. Prefix suffixes. Easy, 20 points every other week. The other type of quizzes are online through McKinley. It says right here, McKinley Online, due date spring 25. It has the chapter and has the date that it's due. It's all open on January the 10th, which is this Friday. All of them are open. But they close on those dates, and I do not extend it. Oh, I forgot. My grandmother died. I got in a car wreck. I've heard absolutely every story possible. That's the due date. If you don't do it, you lose 10 points, period. Also, on the other side of it is for Bio 33. So you see both of them. You're only going to need, just a minute, you're only going to need Bio 31. Anatomy and physiology needs Bio 33. Are we good? Okay, so it says online prefix suffix. You understand that. Exams given only once. You're saying, oh man, I'm not ready. I'm going to come up with some excuse like, I'm in a hospital or whatever it might be. So you have to call me ahead of time, period, no matter what, ahead of time. So if you're taking it Tuesday, let's say the lecture exam is Tuesday, or the lab exam, doesn't make any difference, at 7:00, and you call me at 8:00 saying I can't make it, you're done. That's not before. Okay. Well, how about if I didn't know? How would you not know? You're supposed to be heading here for this exam at 7:00. Okay. I'm so sick, I'm puking, it's coming out of both ends. Okay. Take some nausea medicine or something, whatever, and I will arrange for you to take it later that day. Period. Okay. So you're not buying time. Period. Playing field, I'm absolutely firm on this is level. So just, you know, when the dates are going to be, because it's in your syllabus. Do you understand? The dates and times are in your syllabus. Be ready. So it says exams are given only once, unless there's a valid reason. That reason has to come ahead of time. You and I will discuss it, and I will tell you when you can take it at another time, which is going to be on that day. Okay. Unless you are in a hospital, and I have had that happen. Extra credit, none. Also in your essential information, I'll say, watch this video. It's got a little bear, a cartoon bear, and he talks about I'm worried about my grade. I want you to, it's only like 8 minutes or something. Just watch it. There's a big message there. Okay. And even though I do this every semester at the end, somebody saying, what can I do for extra credit? I said, remember the bear? Okay. So if you need something, there is no extra credit. It's just being prepared for the exams. Late assignments, there are none. Your grade, 90, 80, 70, but I do pluses and minuses. They're set out right here. It's all a percent. Oh, I got an A on the first exam. I got a C, so my average is a B. Not necessarily. If you made it 90%, you just barely got an A, and you got a 70, you add the two together, you don't get 80, Jacko. You're probably about a 78, okay, depending on how many points there are there. Okay. So I got A's on all my quizzes, but I failed the exam. How come I got a D? Because exams worth more points. Okay. So it's all a point. You get all the points you can possibly get. You divide those points by mine, which are 100%, and you get a percent. Okay. What's nice about Canvas is it gives you that percent right there. Whenever something's due and I've graded it, put it in there, it'll have your percent. And that's the way I'd go. When I assign grades, my TAs and I assign grades at the end of the semester, we sit down in a room. I just look at percents. If I get to one that's 98.8, I'll say, what can you tell me about this student? Oh, they were at SI every time. They work really hard. Da, da, da. Okay, I'll give you an A minus. You see what I mean? But otherwise, it's right there. Here's how many points you get for those variety of things. And it says approximate. Okay. What does it say? 1035, approximate number of points. You'll see as that goes on. Therefore, each and every point counts. Okay. Now, suggestions. I have suggestions in here of how to do well. Everybody wants to do well. You don't want to come in here going, hey, I hope to get a D. Okay. Everybody comes in and they want to get an A. Probably 90% of the people that are in this class want to get into the nursing program. It's very, very competitive. So you either have to get an A or a B. I'd lean more on the A part, okay? Because you get a big bunch of points for that, and that puts you in the priority system. Do you understand? That being said, you want to do everything you can to do well in the course. And here's some suggestions for it. Remember, there is no dumb questions. I promise you. You ask me a question and I think, well, that sounds kind of dumb. Nope, there's no such thing. Okay? Because if it's a question you have, then it's important to me that you understand it. Are we good? There's San Joaquin Delta College has a handbook to student behavior, as well as instructor behavior, groundspeople behavior. And if you feel something is wrong, bring it to me. I'll fix it, tell you how to fix it, whatever. If you don't want to bring it to me, there's a handbook. They have one online. You can get one at the office, or you can ask me and I'll get you one. Okay. Additional resources. These are things besides SI. SI is right here, biggest thing. But I have some other avenues to help you with the material. Cheating policy. Can you cheat? Okay. Enough being said. No. I have to tell you about plagiarism. Is cheating in writing. You copy somebody's lab, somebody sees you, or I can prove it, you get an F. Is zero. Okay. Cheating policy again. I have to tell you that My class policy, the college's policy, it's real easy. Don't do it. You will get caught and you will get a 0. And if it's flagrant enough, it'll attach to your transcripts. That means wherever you go, they know you're a cheater. Okay. Okay. DSPS, you have difficulty in hearing, seeing, note taking, comprehension, whatever it may be, they will assist you. And then that finding will come to me and I'll be able to assist you and give you resources. Do you understand? Test anxiety, we all get it. It's called a test for a reason. It's a test. You know, your heart starts pounding. I get you. Okay. But that's the way it is. Think if you're a nurse, they call cold blue. Oh man, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go hide in the staircase. They found somebody in St. Joe's doing that. Okay. You got to deal with pressure. Okay. The more prepared you are, the pressure goes down. The stress level goes down. Trust me, I had test anxiety till somebody taught me how to be prepared. And when I'd go in to be prepared, I'd say, hey, bring it on, man. Okay. Because I knew I was prepared and the anxiety level went down. Okay. That being said, SLOAs, that's on me. Those are called student learning outcomes. All the instructor, the individual instructor teaches you something, we have to get from A to Z in the course of the semester. How the individual instructor deals with that is up to them. It's called academic freedom. But at the end of the day, we have to accumulate data that shows that we all taught you the same thing, maybe from a different angle, but we still taught you the same thing. And we accumulate that data and you don't even realize it's going on. That's called SLOAs. Student learning outcomes, student learning assessments, that all goes on behind the scenes. You won't have to worry about it. Okay. Last page, blank. Okay. That's the student information sheet. Let me go over the syllabus. This one happens to be Thursday. It tells you in this column, the date, this column, what I want accomplished during lecture. P means it's a PowerPoint. D means it's directed teaching. It's on the board behind me. So someone will be PowerPoint. There's a PowerPoint. There's a PowerPoint. There's a PowerPoint. There's directed teaching. There's a PowerPoint, 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 partial PowerPoint, and directed teaching. Do you see how I do it? So you'll know. And if it's a PowerPoint, you'll have me up in this little corner here. You'll see my face. You'll see me talking about it and explaining it. And you'll see the PowerPoint going down the list. Got it? If it's directed teaching, I'm going to be on the board back there and I'm going to be teaching just like if you're sitting in front of me. I like those. Okay. Anyway, it goes all the way down and it has the dates. It has the lecture times, lab times for the exams, all the way down through the end of the semester along with holidays. If you're Friday people, same thing. Okay. Just you only have one entry per week. So if you look at January 10, January 17, January 24, January 31, those are all Fridays. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Same material, covering the same material. Are we good? Okay. We talked about McKinley Online. We talked about the code. Did you get in the bundle at the bookstore? Prefix suffixes. I'll explain this on the first day in lab, exactly how we're going to do it. The way I have the module set up on Canvas, the very first one you come to when you click on your module for Bio 31, it'll say essential information. Make sure you look at each one of those entries because that explains the class, explains my philosophy, gives you these handouts. And if you see a little paper clip next to it, that means that you can click on it and download it on your printer. Okay. I don't have a printer. We can't afford it. As you're talking on your $1,100 iPhone, wearing your $300 tennis shoes, whatever they might be. Okay. So don't do that one. Or you're slurping up a Starbucks, an $8 Starbucks coffee every time you come in, but you can't afford a printer. At Walmart, they have them for $40 and they come with ink and they're wireless. Okay. Reason I know that, I got two of them. One of them's in class. Okay. Next, I'm going to take you, I'm going to lift this up, move you over. When you come in the lab, whoops. Oh. Let's do that again. I almost said a bad word. Okay, I hit a button, man. I don't know what the hell happened. But when you come into lab, you see that little corner up there? It says Friday, January the 10th, roll, introductions, handouts, syllabus, course information sheet, connect, online, and prefix suffix words. Got it? Okay. That's what you're going to see when you come in. I will change the date and change the topics according to what we're doing. Okay. Kind of like a cheat sheet. We good? Okay. That's where you're going to see me most of the time. There's my Walmart special. Okay. All the way over the other side of the lab. Okay. I have lab models that I'll have out according to the topic. Okay. There's one of the doors. You see that monitor? I have two of them. One there. See the other one over in the corner? That has internet access. Whenever you need something, you can do it there. We also have Wi-Fi. Do you see it up there next to the unicorn? Okay. And more of that stuff. Okay, we good? All right. I will have this recording the first thing you have on the module. Okay. All right.